हरे कृष्ण। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरवनचारी, यमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर, राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर, राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की। गंगमयी की, यमुनमयी की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी देवी की, कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 80, entitled Sudama's Visit to Lord Krishna. Text number 3. Savagyaya tasya gunan gridite karau cha tat karma karau manascha स्मरेद्व संतं स्थिरजंगमेषु शृणोति तत्पुण्यकथास्सकर्णः सावाग्यया तस्य गुणान् गृणीते करौ च तत्कर्म करौ मनश्च स्मरेद्व संतं स्थिरजंगमेषु शृणोति तत्पुण्यकथास्सकर्णः सावाग्यया तस्य गुणान् गृणीते करौ च तत्कर्म करौ मनश्च स्मरेद्व संतं स्थिरजंगमेषु शृणोति तत्पुण्यकथास्सकर्णः। स्मरेद्व संतं स्थिरजंगमेषु शृणोति तत्पुण्यकथास्सकर्णः सावाग्यया तस्य गुणान् गृणीते करौ च तत्कर्म करौ मनश्च स्मरेद्व संतं स्थिरजंगमेषु करौ च तत्कर्म करौ मनश्च स्मरेद्व संतं स्थिरजंगमेषु शृणोति तत्पुण्यकथास्सकर्णः। माताजी स्मरेद्व संतं स्थिरजंगमेषु माताजी स्मरेद्व संतं स्थिरजंगमेषु शृणोति तत्पुण्यकथास्सकर्णः स्मरेद्व संतं Sa, this, Vak, power of speech, Yaya, Tasya, his, Gunan, qualities. Granite, one describes. Karau, pair of hands. Cha, and Tat, his. Karma, work. Karau, doing. Manaha, mind. Cha, and Smaret, remembers. Vasantam, dwelling. Sthira, within the unmoving. Jangameshu, and moving. Srinoti, hears. Tat, his. Punya, sanctifying. Tathaha, topics. Saha, this. Karanaha, an ear. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Actual speech is that which describes the qualities of the Lord. Real hands are those that work for Him. A true mind is that which always remembers Him, dwelling within everything moving and non-moving. And actual ears are those that listen to sanctifying topics about Him. Purport. While continuing from the previous verse to glorify the sense of hearing dedicated to the Lord, King Parikshit mentions the other senses also, so that we gain a complete picture of Krishna consciousness. Here he declares that without any connection to Krishna, the Supreme Lord, all the organs of the body become useless. A similar statement is made by Shaunaka Rishi in the 2nd canto, 3rd chapter, verses 20 to 24. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that the senses should work together in Krishna consciousness. In other words, whatever the eyes or the ears experience, the mind should simply remember Krishna, who is within all things. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahiyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yutapadakammalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I offer my humble obeisances to all the devotees at iskcon Vrindavan. I seek the blessings of all the senior Vaishnavas and everyone who have assembled here, so that I speak a few words in glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam for my own purification. Today we are discussing from the 80th chapter of the 10th canto of Bhagavatam that beautifully describes Sudama's visit to his dear friend Krishna in Dwaraka. We heard that this visit happened on Akshaya Tritiya that day. And tomorrow we are celebrating Akshaya Tritiya. So, Parikshit Maharaj has been hearing Harikatha, several pastimes of Krishna, for the last 79 chapters in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. And in the beginning of the 80th chapter, Parikshit Maharaj is expressing his intense eagerness to hear more and more and more Harikatha from the lips of Sukadeva Goswami. We can see how eager the devotees of the Supreme Lord Krishna are to hear bona fide, authorized, nectarian descriptions of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna and Leela. Right in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that the sages of Naimisharanya requested Sutta Goswami, Sutta Goswami, we are not getting satiated by hearing Harikatha, please speak more and more and more. The sages of Naimisharanya were encouraging Sutta Goswami. Swadu, swadu, pade, pade. We feel like hearing more and more. The more we hear Harikatha, the more it's relishable, it's nectarian. Please don't stop, speak. And later we see that Parikshit Maharaj repeatedly showing his intense eagerness to hear Harikatha from Sukadeva Goswami. And later we also see that Vidura was expressing his intense eagerness to hear Krishna Katha from Maitreya Muni. Later we see Yudhishthira Maharaj in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He is very eager to hear the glories of the Lord from Narada Muni. Like that, throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, we see multiple combinations of speakers and hearers. And the hearers are very eager to hear more and more Harikatha from the speakers. And the speakers are very enthusiastic to glorify the Lord. And while acknowledging and thanking the hearers for their eagerness to hear. If the hearer is not eager to hear, the speaker will not be enthused to speak also in sometimes. Here, the best combination is when the speaker is very enthusiastic to glorify the Lord, and the hearers are also very enthusiastic and eager to hear those glories. That's the quality of a speaker and a hearer of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 1st canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 18th chapter, the sages of Naimisharanya describe the qualities of a hearer and a speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam while also appreciating the glory of the subject matter. Tanno bhavan vai bhagavat pradhano mahattamaikanta parayanasya harerudaram charitam vishuddham susrushatam no vitanotu vidvan. Tanno bhavan vai bhagavat pradhano. The sages of Naimisharanya were glorifying Sutta Goswami, the speaker of Bhagavatam, in this way. Bhavan vai bhagavat pradhano. Oh Sutta Goswami, you are Bhagavat Pradhana. Means, for you, the Supreme Lord Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna is the supreme object of your life. You have no other object in your life. So the qualification of a speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam is that the speaker should keep Krishna as the prime object of one's life. Krishna is my worshipable Lord. My life is dedicated to Krishna. So that is the feeling that makes one glorify the Lord very effectively. And what is the quality of the subject matter? Harer udaram charitam vishuddham. Harer udaram charitam vishuddham. Lord Hari's pure, nectarian, spotless, uncontaminated glories is the subject matter for discussion between a speaker and hearer. In this world, so many people speak things and many people keep hearing them. But if the subject matter is not Harer Udaram Charitam Vishuddham, if the subject matter is not pure glorification of Lord Hari, then the conversation is not worth having, or it doesn't benefit the speaker or hearer or other people who are present there. Of course, some practical conversations are there just to run the show in this material world, fine. To that degree, they may have some validity. But the best conversation is conversation about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. between two devotees of Krishna. Right? And what is the quality of the hearer? The shloka says, Harer udaram charitam vishuddham susrushatam no vitanotu vidvan. Susrushatam. We are very, very eager to hear. That eagerness to know more and more about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela is the qualification of a hearer. And Parikshit Maharaj is such a perfect hearer, and Sukadeva Goswami is the perfect speaker of Krishna's glories. Sutta Goswami or Sukadeva Goswami are perfectly qualified as devotees of the Lord. They have dedicated themselves to the devotional service of the Lord. So they are great speakers. Now Parikshit Maharaj, how he is expressing his eagerness. First thing is, he has great regard, high regard for the subject matter. Secondly, he is very absorbed and immersed in the reading, in the hearing process. Whenever Sukadeva Goswami is like going little faster or skipping a few details, Parikshit Maharaj immediately becomes alert. Hey, don't skip that detail. What is that pastime? Please tell me. Looks like you are concluding the narration. No, don't conclude. Please continue. That's how he is expressing his eagerness. For example, in the beginning of the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, we are towards the end, we are in the 80th chapter. In the beginning of the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, we see that Sukadeva Goswami describes Putana pastime. At the end of Putana pastime, Sukadeva Goswami gives the Falashruti. He glorifies Krishna delivered Putana by saying, Padbhyam bhakta hridistabhyam vandyabhyam loka vanditaihi angam yasyaha samakramya bhagavanapi tatstanam yatu dhanyapi sasvarga bhavapa jananigatim Krishna bhuktastanakshiraha kimugavo numataraha. Although Putana came with a malicious intention to kill Krishna, baby Krishna, not only baby Krishna, she wanted to kill all the kids in Vrindavan who were less than 10 days old. With such a malicious intention, Putana entered Nanda Maharaj's home and fed her poisonous milk to Krishna. But Krishna ignored her intentions and considered that she acted like a mother. Her form is like a mother. Krishna gave more importance to her attire and actions and ignored her attitude. Although Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardana, he accepts the intention behind any offering. But if he is too desperate to show mercy, he will ignore the intention also and see whatever is positive, whatever is favorable for him to bestow some mercy, he will find some direct or indirect obscure reason to show mercy upon people. Especially in Vrindavan, Krishna is more merciful. So he gave her the position of a motherly nurse in the spiritual world. And Sukadeva Goswami is glorifying this act of Krishna's compassion, mercy on Putana and concluding, bringing the whole narration to a conclusion. And at the end he said, Govinde labhate ratim. Whoever hears this pastime of Krishna delivering Putana will develop so much rati, attraction, devotion for Govinda. That's how he gave a Falashruti. He gave the benefit of hearing Putana Moksha Leela. Then Parikshit Maharaj had a doubt. Why is he giving Falashruti now? Generally Falashruti is given at the end of a narration. He just began Krishna's childhood pastimes. How can he give Falashruti now? Sukadeva Goswami, are you about to conclude Krishna's childhood pastimes? Please don't do that. Continue. In the beginning of the 7th chapter, our Parikshit Maharaj spoke 7 effects of hearing Krishna's childhood pastimes and said, Toka charitam adbhutam manusham lokamasadya tajyatam anurundhataha. Toka charitam adbhutam means Krishna's pastimes as a small child are adbhutam, most wonderful pastimes. Manusham lokamasadya, Krishna appeared in this human planet, this earthly planet, and he imitated the activities of human beings. Just like a small human child, crawls, tries to learn walking, does some mischief, gets scolded by parents, mother especially. So Krishna is also following this format of general human children. But to manusham lokamasajya tad jatim anurundhata. He adopted the behavior of human children and he is behaving like that. Although he is the Supreme Lord.
So those pastimes where Krishna acted as a human child in this world are most enchanting, most attractive. I want to hear them in great detail. Sukadeva Goswami, in the 9th canto of Bhagavatam, he went through all the pastimes very quickly. Of course, Sukadeva Goswami was also very eager to come to 10th canto, and he was summarizing so many pastimes, so many small stories in the 9th canto, and he came to 10th canto just with an intention to elaborately describe Krishna's pastimes, childhood pastimes especially. But when he gave a little Falashruti to Putana episode, Parikshit became little anxious or insecure. Oh, he should not conclude. Sukadeva Goswami never wanted to conclude. But Parikshit Maharaj, because of his intense eagerness, he expressed his enthusiasm to hear more and more pastimes by speaking these shlokas. Now, after hearing so many leelas of Krishna in Vrindavan, Mathura, Dwaraka, Hastinapur, and all these places, Parikshit Maharaj is expressing more eagerness to hear more pastimes of Krishna. So in this context, Parikshit Maharaj is speaking these beautiful shlokas. So these shlokas are coming right in the beginning of Sudama episode. Now this chapter is Sudama pastime. So Parikshit Maharaj is expressing his eagerness by speaking these few verses, and Sukadeva Goswami immediately starts Sudama pastime without any much introduction. Just like hearing Parikshit Maharaj's eagerness to hear Harikatha in the 10th canto 7th chapter, Sukadeva Goswami, without any introduction, he immediately started Trinavarta pastime. Here also he will immediately start Sudama pastime. Now let's see. Let's go deep into Parikshit Maharaj's eagerness to hear. He says, Savagyaya tasya gunan grinite. So, in the 3rd shloka he is saying, Karaucha tat karma karau manasya. Savagyaya tasya gunan grinite. What is the purpose of having a tongue, a mouth, to engage that tongue in glorification of Krishna? What is the purpose of having ears? To hear Krishna Katha, Krishna's glorification. What's the purpose of having hands, karau? To serve Krishna. That's what he's saying. Savag yaya tasya gunan grinite. Vak. Vak means the ability to speak, the power of speaking. The power of speaking Krishna has given us only to use that power of speaking to glorify Krishna. In the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Maitreya Muni describes some glories of the Lord. Especially he describes the creation process, how the Supreme Lord created this material universe. At the end he says, actually, I don't know the glories of the Lord so much. I am not so familiar with Krishna's all opulences or pastimes or qualities. But still I am speaking. Somebody may ask you, if you don't know so much, if you don't know completely Krishna's glories, how can you start speaking? You should know. Actually, it's not possible to know. So the idea is not to know everything about Krishna. It is not possible. Although Krishna, to encourage us, he says in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Asamshayam samagram mam yatha gnashyasi tat shrunu. You hear. You will understand my glories completely. He's encouraging us to hear. But understanding Krishna's glories completely is not possible for anybody. Our understanding of Krishna is always incomplete, but it should not be incorrect. Just ensure that you are hearing or reading from bona fide sources, bona fide books, bona fide speakers who are speaking based on the teachings of Parampara. So as long as we are hearing from bona fide sources, we will ensure that our understanding of Krishna Katha is authentic, bona fide, accurate, not incorrect. But however much you hear or read, our understanding of Krishna will remain incomplete only. So let it be incomplete. It will be incomplete, but it should not be incorrect. Right? So completely understanding is not possible. But as much as we understood from the bona fide sources, we can always share with others. We can always speak to others. If you have understood the 1st canto of Bhagavatam, you can always share whatever is your understanding, bona fide understanding of the 1st canto with another devotee. Right? So that's what Maitreya Muni is telling us. Tathapi kirtayam yanga yatha mati yatha shritam. He also say, tathapi kirtayam yanga yatha mati yatha shrutam kirtim hare swam satkartum giram anyabhidasatim tathapi kirtayam yanga. Although I don't know Krishna's glories completely, still tathapi I will glorify him. Kirtayami anga. How? Yatha mati yatha shrutam. Whatever I could hear from bona fide sources, whatever I could assimilate in my heart, based on that I will speak. Why? Kirtim harehe swam satkartum. When you glorify Lord Hari, when you do Hari Kirtan, Krishna Kirtan, swam satkartum, you are benefiting yourself. You are spiritually uplifting and benefiting yourself by engaging your power of speech in glorifying Krishna. Kirtim harehe swam satkartum. One important point he says, giram anyabhida asatim. If you engage your power of speech otherwise, if you don't utilize your power of speech to glorify Krishna, but you speak prajalpa or so many other things, then our power of speech will remain unchaste, asatim. The Lord is Hrishikesha. He is the master of all senses. And the purpose of our Hrishika senses is to engage in the service of the master of senses, isn't it? Hrishikena Hrishikesa sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Right? The purpose of having the senses is to engage the senses in Krishna's seva. Similarly, the purpose of having this tongue or the power to speak is to engage that power of speech in Krishna's glorification. Otherwise it will remain unchaste. That's what Parikshit is saying here. Savagyaya tasya ganan granite. Vak means your power of speech should be engaged in ganan granite, to glorify the qualities of Lord Hari. Glorify Krishna's qualities, not the material qualities in this material world. Second point. Karaucha tat karma karau manascha. Karaucha tat karma karau. Engage your hands in performing the service of the Lord. Karaucha tat karma karau. Karma is not fruitive activity here. Karma is activity and a devotional activity. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, mat karma krin mat paramo mat bhaktaha sangavarjitaha nirvairaha sa yatra bhute nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu yassa mameti pandava. He says, mat karma krin mat paramo. Mat karma krin means you work for me, perform my activity, perform devotional activities. There are different types of karmas. One is papa karma, second is punya karma, third is bhakti karma. Papa karma and punya karma are on a material plane. Pious activities and impious activities are on a material plane. But devotional activities, bhakti karmas, are on a spiritual plane. And we need to perform the devotional activities. That's what he says. Karauch tat karma karau. Use your hands in serving the Lord. Devotional activities. Then, manascha smared vasantam sthiradangameshu. Manascha smared means use your mind to always remember the Lord. Do some Krishna smarant. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha mayyarpitamano buddher mame vaishyasi asamshayah. Sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara. Krishna says, you always remember me. Sarveshu kaleshu. Same thing he is saying here. Manascha smaran. Let's utilize our mind to remember Krishna. If you don't remember Krishna in the mind will start meditating on so many unnecessary materialistic topics. Mind may think of some conflict that has happened with someone else in the past, or mind may think of some exciting things that are going to happen in the future on a material plane, or mind may anticipate some big trouble that's going to come up in future. Our mind may just focus on the attachments and aversions, likes and dislikes. So mind will keep jumping from one thought to another thought, one desire to another desire, one feeling to another feeling, one emotion to another emotion constantly on a material plane. So you channelize all the thoughts and emotions and desires and feelings of the mind towards Krishna. Let the mind do Krishna smaranam. Easier said than done, but that's what Parikshit Maharaj is saying we have to do. Recommendation. Manascha smared vasantam sthirajangameshu. Smaran means, whom should we remember in the mind? That Lord who stays within all the moving and non-moving beings. Right? Vasantam sthira jangameshu. Vasanta means he resides in sthira and jangama. Sthira, jangama means moving and non-moving entities. The Lord is there everywhere. Krishna says in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, how he stays within everything. In the 7th chapter also he says, I am the taste of water. Rasohamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi sashishuryayoho. He is the light of sun and moon. He is the heat of fire. He is the strength of all the strong people. He is the taste of water. He is the fragrance of earth. So thus the Lord is present everywhere, and our duty is to engage our mind in remembering Him. Next point, Shrunoti tat punya kathaha sakaranaha. Shrunoti, here. What should we hear? Punya katha, Krishna's glorious activities. By the way, when punya word is used here, this is not material piety. The word punya is used in two contexts. One is material punya, second is spiritual punya. Right? Punya shravana kirtanaha, first canto says. So punya shravana kirtana means shravana and kirtana will not give you some ordinary material piety. So material piety or material punya will take us from earthly planet to the Swargalok, that's all. But spiritual punya will take us to Golok, not Swargalok. Right? Spiritual punya means performing devotional activities like Shravanam, Kirtanam. Right? Punya Shravana Kirtanam. Here also, Punya Kathaha Sakaranaha. So punya can also refer to something auspicious. So you please hear the auspicious Katha of Krishna, Karanaha, with your ears. That will make your ears perfect. And the purport elaborates on these four things. How we have to utilize all our senses in Krishna's service. Hrishikena Hrishikesa Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. That is Bhakti. As sadhakas, our sadhana is to engage our senses in Krishna's devotional service. Right? As Bhagavatam in the 9th canto says, Savai Manaha Krishna Padara Vindayor Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanuvarnani Karau Harer Mandira Marjanadishu Shrutim Chakara Chita Satkathodaye. Exactly same. Like this. That shloka comes in glorification of Ambrish Maharaj. How Ambrish Maharaj was using his eyes to see the beautiful form of Krishna, Radha Shyamsundar. And how Ambrish Maharaj is using his ears to hear Krishna Katha. How Ambrish Maharaj is using his hands, Mandira Marjanadishu, to clean the temple of the Lord. Smritim Chakarachita Satkathodaye. He is utilizing his ears in Satkatha. Here Punya Katha is mentioned, there Satkatha is mentioned. The beautiful narrations of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. That's how we have to utilize all our senses in Krishna's Seva. Then the senses have some utility. As the purport says here, one point, where is it? Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says that the senses should work together in Krishna consciousness. While continuing from the previous verse to glorify the sense of hearing dedicated to the Lord, Parikshit mentions that other senses also, so that we gain a complete picture of Krishna consciousness. So if we don't utilize the senses in all senses, not only ears, but all senses in Krishna's seva, then the senses are being wasted. As Dhruva Maharaj says in his prayers to the Lord, he says, Yontaha pravishya bhamavachamimam prasuptam sanjeevayantyakila shakti dharaha swadhamna anyamsha hasta charana shravanatvagadien pranannamo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. Yo antaha pravishya, my dear Lord, you have entered within me. Mama vachamimam prasuptam. My vacha, my power of speech has been sleeping till now. You have awakened it. You just you have woke it up. So Dhruva Maharaj spoke so many things in front of Narada Muni. How can Dhruva Maharaj claim that my power of speech has been sleeping till now? It was not sleeping. He was very actively speaking. Narada Muni has given him so many suggestions, and Dhruva Maharaj says, no, I will not accept your suggestions. All your instructions are meant for Brahmanas. I am a Kshatriya. My blood is boiling. My heart is filled with revengeful attitude towards my stepmother, Suruchi. He was also envious towards his stepbrother. I want a position superior to my great-grandfather Brahma, You please tell me honest means to attain it. That's all I want. I don't want anything else from you. See, he spoke so many things in front of Narada Muni. But how can he claim that my power of speech has been sleeping till now? Now, my dear Lord, you have awakened that power of speech. Now I am glorifying you. There, Prabhupada writes in the purport that till we engage our ability to speak in glorifying Krishna, till then, our power of speech is said to be sleeping. Till we engage our hands in serving Krishna, our hands are said to be sleeping. So someone who is sleeping on the bed, his senses are not working. They are live, they are living, but they are not working. You are not doing any work with hands. You are not hearing anything with your ears. You are not seeing anything with your eyes. You are not backing anywhere with your legs. Your body is just lying there. Right? Similarly, if we don't engage these senses in Krishna's service, they are said to be sleeping. They are as good as sleeping senses. So unless we engage all the senses, hands or legs or anything in the service of the Lord, they are said to be just sleeping, or they are not being utilized for what they are meant for. All the senses are meant to be utilized in Krishna's seva. And there are so many such descriptions in the Bhagavatam and in many other scriptures also, how we have to engage our senses in Krishna's service. Even Nalakuvar and Manigriva, when they offer prayers to Krishna, they said, we want to utilize all our senses in your service, my dear Lord. So with this eagerness to hear Harikatha, Parikshit Maharaj is imploring, inspiring, requesting, begging Sukadeva Goswami to speak the story of Sudama. Now Sukadeva Goswami starts speaking this beautiful story of Sudama. Right, you see, the beautiful story of Sudama. So Sudama was a poor Brahmana, very poor Brahmana. He was a classmate of Krishna when he was in Sandipani Muni's Gurukul. Krishna and Sudama were together as friends. Then when they completed their education, Krishna came to Dwaraka, living like a prince, and Sudama went to his whatever is the place, and he is living like a very poor Brahmana. He does not have even proper food to eat, proper cloth to wear. His dhoti has 100 holes. So he was like very poverty stricken. One day his wife came and said, my dear husband, why don't you just go to Krishna and ask for some food, ask for some money? There is nothing wrong on the part of a Brahmana to beg a Kshatriya some financial assistance. And on top of it, Krishna is not just a Kshatriya, not just a prince, he is your friend also. And you are not just an ordinary Brahmana, you are his childhood classmate. He will definitely entertain. He is the husband of goddess of fortune. You should go and immediately ask him for some money. Sudama was not at all willing to ask money from his friend. But wife is pushing. Not that she was greedy. Sudama's wife was never greedy for money. She wanted to see her husband comfortable. She wanted to feed some proper food to Sudama. That's the reason why she asked him. And because of her repeated requests, Sudama agreed. Not exactly to ask money from Krishna. He just wanted to see Krishna. So Sudama went to visit Krishna on this Akshaya Tritiya day. That's what I have heard from seniors. So he went. But internally he was thinking that maybe I may not even get an entrance into Krishna's palace. I may not be able to even have a personal meeting, face-to-face meeting with Krishna. Because I am such a poor Brahmana, like a beggar, the soldiers or the gatekeepers of Dwaraka may not even allow me to enter this place also. So, fine, no problem. At least I will be able to see Krishna from a distance. That is also sufficient for me. Sudama's wife was thinking that my husband will go and meet Krishna and ask for some money and bring money. But Sudama was thinking that even if I get to see Krishna from a distance, while standing in the crowd, he is walking on the road, from there I will just see Krishna, that is sufficient for me. He had absolutely no expectations. So Sudama went to Krishna. By the time he reached Krishna's palace. Krishna has so many palaces. Which palace he will enter? He just found one palace and he entered that palace. That happened to be Rukmani's palace. And he found Krishna there. So if he had gone into Satyabhama's palace, will he not find Krishna there? He'll find Krishna there also. If he had gone into Jambavati's palace, he would not find Krishna there. He'll find Krishna there also. So Krishna is everywhere. Krishna expanded himself into 16,108 forms and he was with all the queens of Krishna in different palaces. Whichever palace Sudama would enter, Krishna would be there. So Sudama entered the palace of Rukmani Devi and Krishna was sitting there on a couch. Rukmani Devi was serving him so lovingly. Although Rukmani Devi had so many servants, still Rukmani Devi would personally serve Krishna. Bhakta paya bhujanga garudamani trailokya rakshamani gopi lochana chatakam budamani saundarya mudramani yah kantamani rukmani ghanakucha dvandvaika bhoshamani shreyo deva shikhamani ratishatuno gopala chudamani. Amongst all the queens of Krishna, Devi is the foremost. Yah kantamani rukmani ghanakucha dvandvaika bhoshamani. Krishna is like a shining ornament on Rukmani Devi's heart, and Rukmani Devi is the foremost queen of Krishna. Just like Radharani is the foremost consort of Krishna in Vrindavan, Rukmani Devi is the foremost consort of Krishna in Dwaraka. So Rukmani Devi was personally serving Krishna there and Sudama went. Krishna just got up from his bed. Immediately he came running towards Sudama and embraced him. And the reception that Krishna has given to Sudama was as good as the reception that Krishna would give to his elder brother Balaram. And Sudama felt that, oh, Krishna is treating me like an elder brother? His Balaram? His brother Balaram? He was overwhelmed. I thought I would not even get an entrance into Dwaraka palace, any palace of Dwaraka or maybe even the city. But now Krishna is personally receiving me. No gatekeeper has stopped me. Actually, the gatekeepers of Krishna in Dwaraka, they are very much in alignment with Krishna's mood. The gatekeeper has to align with the mood of the owner of the home or the palace. Or a servant must align with the mood of master. But once in Vaikuntha, Jaya and Vijaya, the two gatekeepers, they were not aligning with the mood of Lord Narayana. Lord Narayana loves Brahmanas, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So the Lord loves Brahmanas. He wants to treat Brahmana guests so nicely. But somehow these two gatekeepers, Jaya and Vijaya, stopped these four Brahmanas, the four Kumaras, at the entrance of the seventh gate. There Sukadeva Goswami describes, or Maitreyi Muni describes in Bhagavatam that Jaya and Vijaya demonstrated an attitude of Bhagavat Pratikula Shila. We should adopt this mode of Bhagavat Anukula Shila. Bhagavat means Krishna. Anukula means favorable. Shila means character or your conduct. So we should exhibit a conduct that is favorable to the Lord's mood. But somehow Jaya and Vijaya were demonstrating Bhagavat Pratikula Shila. They are exhibiting a conduct which is against the Lord's mood, which is not favorable to the Lord's mood. Of course, there are different explanations for it, and there is a reason for their blocking the entrance of Jaya and Vijaya. Let's discuss that pastime some other time. But the key word here is Bhagavat Anukula Shila. So all the gatekeepers of Dwaraka, they are very much in alignment with the mood of Krishna. Even if the Brahmana guest looks like a beggar, still he is treated with so much respect. No gatekeeper stopped Sudama. He was given entrance into Rukmani Devi's palace directly. He is just going inside and nobody stopping him. And Krishna just came and personally received Sudama. He recognized him. Although they met as kids, still Krishna recognized Sudama. And Sudama was made to sit on a couch like this. Sudama was sitting on the couch of Krishna and Krishna was personally washing the feet of Sudama. And while washing the feet, Krishna had tears in his eyes. He had tears in his eyes. It's not just a royal reception or a formality of a Kshatriya while receiving a Brahmana guest. If it is a formality, then Krishna would not have tears in his eyes. The very fact that Krishna had tears in his eyes means it's a heartfelt reception. He is showing so much of genuine love and care and affection for Sudama, and Sudama was overwhelmed by this. Because Sudama did not expect anything. Sudama was not like an Artha Bhakta or Artharthi Bhakta. Yes, he was an Arthi, he was in distress, without money. Artharthi, in one sense, he also needs money. But he's not acting like an Artha Bhakta or Artharthi Bhakta. He's a pure Bhakta only, Shuddha Bhakta only. So he came to Krishna only out of love and affection. And Krishna treated him with so much love. But before coming to Krishna, Sudama asked his wife, I want to take a special gift for Krishna. I am meeting him after a long time. See the mentality of Sudama. See the consciousness of Sudama. He is being sent to Krishna to beg for some money, but now he is thinking, what can I offer Krishna? He is not thinking of what Krishna will offer me. How much he will offer me? 10 gold coins or 100 gold coins or 1000 gold coins? How much he will transfer? 1 lakh or 2 lakh or 10 lakhs? 1 million or 10 million? He is not thinking how much Krishna will give him. He is only thinking what I can give Krishna. Sudama's wife said, we have nothing at home. But wait, I'll do something. Sudama's wife went to neighboring homes and begged some 4 handfuls of flat rice and tied it in a torn cloth and gave it to Sudama. Sudama was like a small bead bag. So he's holding these 4 handfuls of poha in his hand, and then he was just taking with him. Then, see, Sudama could not afford even that 4 handfuls of flat rice also, but he wanted to offer. Means he wanted to offer something to Krishna beyond his capacity. For Krishna to reciprocate with Sudama's love, Krishna had to offer something beyond Krishna's capacity. Is there anything beyond Krishna's capacity? There is nothing beyond Krishna's capacity. So, Krishna felt very embarrassed. Krishna felt very awkward. When Sudama was there in Krishna's palace, Krishna was only offering some washing his feet, offering some dhub deep naivedya, and offering him some food. But he did not offer him any money. He did not give him any check or donation, or he did not even say that I am going to give you this, don't worry. He did not say anything because Krishna felt very awkward, very embarrassed. Because Sudama offered me something which was beyond his capacity. To sufficiently reciprocate with his devotion, with his loving offering, I must offer him something which is beyond my capacity, but there is nothing beyond my capacity. It was beyond Krishna's capacity to go beyond his capacity to sufficiently reciprocate with Sudama's offering. So Krishna felt very awkward. Krishna felt bankrupt. I don't have the capacity to reciprocate with Sudama's love. He felt very incapable. Just like Krishna told gopis also. Gopis, you have served me so much. Naparayeham niravadya samvijam. Swasadhu krityam vibhudayusha pipa. So even if you give me the tenure of 1 full day of Brahma, I won't be able to sufficiently repay you. I have become so much indebted to you. Hare Krishna, my humble obeisance, Sister Mukunda Prabhu. Hare Krishna. With your blessings. So Sudama offered something way beyond his capacity to Krishna, and Krishna is considering himself incapable of sufficiently reciprocating with Sudama's offering. Therefore, Krishna did not say, Sudama, I am going to give this to you. He did not give anything only. By the time Sudama reached his home, he found a big palace. His hut is gone, and the palace was manifested. And his wife came out like a well-decorated queen with so many maid servants. She was looking like a great princess or queen. And Sudama understood, oh, this is how Krishna blessed me. On the way, Sudama was even thinking that Krishna did not give me any riches because he is concerned about my consciousness. Suddenly, when a poor man becomes so rich, probably that richness will induce pride in him, arrogance in him. So Krishna wanted to protect me from that arrogance and pride. That's why he did not give me anything. See how great my Lord is. Sudama was thinking in a positive way. He was not thinking how miserly Krishna is. He fed me some prasad. He gave me night accommodation to sleep. But what will happen if he give me one bag of gold coins? Will he lose something? He did not give me anything. Of course, I didn't ask anything, but he should give, right? Sudama was not thinking like that. Sudama was grateful that Kvaham daridraha papiyan kva Krishnaha Sriniketanah. Kvaham daridraha papiyan kva Krishnaha Sriniketanah. Brahma bandhur itismaham bahubhyam parirambhitah. Where am I? I am a papi, I am a daridra, I am a poverty-stricken, unqualified brahmana, I am a Brahma bandhu, not even a brahmana. I am daridra, poverty-stricken, papi, a sinful person. Where am I? And kva Krishnaha Sriniketanah. Where is Krishna? He is Sriniketana, the residence of goddess of fortune. But Brahma bandhur iti smaham, although I am a Brahma bandhu, bahubhyam parirambhitaha. He has embraced me with his own arms. He has given me respect, as much respect he would give to his elder brother Balaram, that much respect he has given me. How fortunate am I? His heart is filled with gratitude for receiving Krishna's affection, but he was not complaining at all that Krishna did not give him anything. And Krishna was internally feeling, my God, what can I give Krishna? What can I give Sudama? So I cannot sufficiently reciprocate with Sudama's offering. Therefore, he has secretly given him. Just like when we offer something to someone, when we cannot afford, when we give very, very little amount or some little offering and then offer to your friend as a gift. Actually, I don't have much, like this very small gift. So just secretly just keep it in your hand, and just move. Because there's some kind of discomfort. I wish to offer him so much, but I don't have the ability. That inability to offer some gift to your friend or the Lord to your heart's content will make you feel a little embarrassed, humble or humiliated. And that's what Krishna was feeling. My offering is very, very insignificant in comparison to his offering. Where is this poha and where is that palace? But Krishna feels that this palace is insignificant in comparison to this poha. Even one grain of this poha is more valuable than the palace that I have given him. I don't have the ability. That is Krishna's humility. This is Kritagnata. What is Kritagnata? Krita means that which is done for others. Gna means to remember it, to acknowledge it, and to reciprocate with it. Kritagnata means you have the feeling of thankfulness towards someone who has done something to you, and you also feel like reciprocating with them. So Krishna was very grateful to Sudama's offering of this little poha. He could not afford, he begged from some people and then he has given me. He went out of his way to make this offering for me. I can't get out of my way. So everything is my way only. Everything is within my way only. There is nothing outside Krishna's ability. One more important aspect is Krishna, when Sudama was at his home, Krishna started recollecting some nice childhood pastimes, childhood incidents that happened in their Gurukul. One day, Sandipuni Muni's wife requested Sudama and Krishna to go to the forest and collect some firewood. Then they were stuck in a storm, a big storm. Krishna, in Vrindavan, when there was a big storm, Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain and with his bodily effulgence he lit up the whole atmosphere under the Govardhan mountain and protected all the Vrajavasis. But because Krishna is observed in the mood of a student in Sandipani's Gurukul, he did not lift Govardhan mountain to protect himself and Sudama from the storm. He was in the mood of a student. So Krishna and Sudama were holding each other's hands and were experiencing this distress of the storm, distress of this rain and floods and winds and darkness. Right? Oh, it's dark everywhere. Let me manifest my Brahman effulgence. Krishna did not do that. It's wet everywhere. Okay, no problem. Let me just erect a nice high platform so that we can happily sit with Sudama. He is not thinking like that. Krishna and Sudama, both of them as little boys, as students, they underwent all the problems in that storm. Whole night passed. But during this whole night, Sudama and Krishna were holding each other's hands. Krishna had only 2 hands. He did not manifest 4 hands or 10 hands. Only 2 hands. With one hand, Krishna was holding the firewood that he has collected, and with another hand, Krishna was holding Sudama's hand. Same thing with Sudama also. Sudama with one hand is holding the firewood that he has collected for his Guru or Guru Patni, and with the other hand he is holding Krishna's hand. You know what are they teaching us? You know what Krishna and Sudama are teaching us? In this material world, there will be so many calamities like that storm and flood and darkness in the night. So when Maya presents so many obstacles and so many difficulties and reversals in our spiritual life, you know what we should do? We should never leave Guru's service. And we should never leave Vaishnava Sangha. When Krishna and Sudama were holding each other, they're giving us an important message. Don't give up the association of devotee friends. And when they're not leaving that firewood, oh, this is anyway a storm, let's forget this firewood. Let's try to protect ourselves. They did not feel like that. They were holding that firewood also with another hand. By that they're giving an important message. There may be so many difficulties and temptations and allurements and disturbances and distractions in your spiritual life. Never leave service to Guru. Never leave the service of spiritual master. Their service, Sudama and Krishna were serving Sandipani Muni, their spiritual master, and they were not giving up the firewood that they have collected for their Guru. So Guru Seva and Vaishnava Sangha are our real wealth. So Krishna recollected these beautiful incidents from his childhood. So throughout that night when Krishna and Sudama were stuck in that storm, Sandipani Muni was anxious. Sandipani Muni's wife was anxious. And all the co-students of Krishna, they were anxious. But none of them came out of their home to search for Krishna and Sudama. Why? It was dark everywhere. It was in the middle of the night. There was storm. There is darkness. There is floods. We could not differentiate between highlands and lowlands. Where is the possibility of Sandipani Muni coming out of his Gurukul and searching for Krishna and Sudama? If at least you have the ability to search, your anxiety will be little less. But he was extremely anxious, being unable to search for Sudama and Krishna. He's sitting at home in his Gurukul and is anxious, what will happen to my little boys? Early morning, the storm went away, then flood is gone and people are able to see each other, and the sun was rising so nicely, shining in the sky, and Sudama and Krishna slowly started moving towards the Gurukul. And Sandipani Muni, as soon as he saw the sunrise, Sandipani Muni along with other students, he also started searching for Krishna. He went towards the forest. Somewhere on the way, Sudama, Krishna and Sandipani Muni and other boys, they met. Sandipani Muni showered heartfelt blessings upon Sudama and Krishna. He said, my dear children, my dear boys, you have dedicated yourself completely for my service. Although it was very difficult to collect this firewood and do my service in such a difficult circumstances, still you have done it. I am very grateful to you. I am going to give you a special blessing. What was that special blessing that Sandipani Muni has given? You have learned so many mantras from me. I have given you so many teachings. You learned so many things from me. May all the lessons that I have given you remain forever fresh in your hearts, and may you get the ability to apply these lessons at the right time in your life. We may learn so many lessons from Gita, Bhagavatam, CC, but when the right time comes in our life, we may not be able to apply. How many of you had that experience? You are aware of a lesson, you have learned so many lessons from different pastimes, so many principles from Gita, Bhagavatam, so much philosophy, but when a tricky situation comes in front of us, at the spur of the moment, we may not be able to apply the lesson we have learned. We may not be able to demonstrate the principle or the value or the moral or the Vaishnava quality expected of us in that moment. We may behave little otherwise. Happens, right? Happened with me hundreds of times. So we are aware of that lesson. Sometimes we may not even remember that lesson only. So in that moment, then later we will regret, we should not become angry. Then we will remember Daksha's pastime. Daksha's pastime we will not remember when somebody agitates us, right? How Shiva was very tolerant when Daksha was criticizing him. We cannot follow the example of Lord Shiva when somebody agitates us. We may act like Daksha and later we'll remember, oh my God, I should not have done like this. So Sandipanamani's special blessing to Krishna and Sudama is that, may you remember all the lessons you have learned from me and may you apply them. May you remember them at the right time and may you get the ability to apply them at the spur of the moment. In contrast to this, you see Parashuram, cursed Karna, may you forget what you have learned from me. You have learned so many things from me, may you forget at the right time. You see? So that's the power of pleasing Guru and displeasing Guru. When we please the spiritual master, then by the pleasure of spiritual master we'll be able to apply the lessons that we have learned from the Guru at the right time in our lives. So there are many other beautiful lessons from Sudama's episode. So because we are discussing the Sudama pastime, I just shared a few of them. So thank you very much. If there are any mistakes in what I said, kindly forgive me, and I seek your blessings for my continued services in proper consciousness without any distractions and deviations. You are all living in Vrindavan Dham. So if you bless me, then Krishna will take your prayers and blessings very seriously and he will help me continue on the path of bhakti without any distractions or deviations. Thank you very much. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।